Recently, I've been posting a lot of educational content on this channel about fitness and especially calisthenics and bodyweight training. And I thought it would be a great idea to combine some of the best ones into a longer video so these tips can reach more people, especially because YouTube almost never recommends older videos anymore. So today let's go through 10 tips or 10 videos that will help you improve and better understand the world of calisthenics and bodyweight training. This is how I train in sub-zero temperatures to get the most out of it. Science shows that every 1 Celsius increase in muscle temperature boosts performance by 2 to 5%, so I make sure that by the time I reach the park, my body is already warm. I do that by walking there at a faster pace, so I only need a short warm-up before training. Wear 3-4 layers of clothing, so you can remove or add layers if needed. In the cold, the heat from your warm-up disappears fast, so keep moving between sets. Walk, bounce, don't stand still. Try not to gasp for air. Cold air irritates the airways, so breathe through your nose as much as possible. To avoid getting out of breath, train with higher intensity and lower reps, and keep workouts shorter but more frequent. For example, around 4 to 5 sessions, about 30 to 40 minutes each. Drink enough water. Cold air dries out your lungs and easily causes dehydration. And finally, eat a carb-rich meal about 1 hour before training, because your body burns more energy in the cold just to stay warm. 3 ways to measure band resistance for your planche and front lever training. First option is using a spring scale. Attach it to the band, pull it down, and the number you see is the band's resistance. Keep in mind that when your body is in the band, it makes contact over a larger surface and stretches more. To simulate this, place a parallel between the 2 sides of the band and pull it down like that. The second option is to place a scale under the bar and stand on it. Hold the resistance band and pull it down as much as you want. The amount your body weight decreases on the scale is the assistance provided by the band. The third option is to put a plate in the band. For example, if you use a 10 kg plate, it will pull the band down until it stretches enough to provide exactly 10 kg of assistance. If you want the band to provide more assistance, you need to stretch it more. You can do this by placing it wider on the bar. Adjusting the band is also useful for measuring progressive overload. For static exercises, you can also increase the assistance by increasing the distance between you and the bar. For the planche, for example, you can do this by using a lower parallel. Let me show you what failure looks like. Notice how the tempo doesn't change at the beginning of the set. The first few reps feel very easy and aren't much of a challenge. ATP is the primary energy source, but it starts to decrease in the muscle. At the same time, metabolic byproducts continue to accumulate. Some also suggest that under heavy load, serotonin levels may increase, which can lower dopamine levels, potentially reducing motor unit recruitment. All of these factors combined send signals to the brain. And even though ATP is not actually depleted to zero by the end of the set, the brain decides that it's time to stop the movement because it may become dangerous. The purpose of it is that the last reps trigger hypertrophy the most. So if you want to gain size, that's when you should train to failure or at least close to failure, meaning leaving like 1 or 2 reps in the tank. We often see that the best street workout athletes become very strong over the years, while their muscle size doesn't always increase dramatically. This is because when we perform heavy exercises with low repetitions and high intensity, it primarily leads to myofibrillar hypertrophy, meaning the contractile strength-producing part of the muscle develops, rather than the sarcoplasma, which is more associated with size and endurance. In addition, significant neural adaptation occurs. The brain becomes more efficient at sending signals to the muscles, resulting in more muscle fibers being activated at the same time and faster and stronger contractions. Strength therefore does not depend solely on muscle size, but also on how effectively you can use it. It's also important to consider that in street workout you are moving your own body weight. Gaining too much mass, whether it's coming from fat or muscle, can actually make certain skills more difficult. So the goal is to get stronger while staying as light as possible. your dips look like this, you could be doing them much better. In this position, the shoulder girder shifts too far back, putting the chest and the front delts into an extreme stretch position. When you load a stretch position without proper control, the risk of injury increases. This technique is often associated with weakness or poor activation of the serratus anterior and the chest. On top of that, it doesn't really reflect most real-life pushing movements, where we typically push in front of our body. For example, when climbing onto something or bracing a fall, you are pushing in front of you. So it's better to strengthen the muscles in that range of motion. Try pushing your shoulders and shoulder blades forward and down, with a slight forward lean. This position is more stable, safer, and usually allows for a greater, more controlled range of motion. Someone asked what to do if you can barely do dips. Since push-ups work similar muscles, it's a good idea to build strength there first. If you can't do them yet, start with knee push-ups or focus on slow negatives. If you can do around 20 to 30 push-ups, you are generally ready to start trying dips. You've got a few options. You can assist yourself with your legs, use a resistance band, or just do negatives. At the beginning of your workouts, always try a few proper dips so you can track your progress. Can't do a pull-up yet? Here's how to get your first one in a few simple steps. Start with very easy variations. Find a lower bar and pull your chest to the bar. For many people, especially women, grip strength is also a limiting factor, so it's worth practicing that hangs as well. If it's too hard, you can assist yourself with your legs. As you get stronger, move to a lower bar to make the exercise more challenging. You can combine this with negative pull-ups. As you improve, try holding the top position briefly before lowering. After that, you can start working on full pull-ups. In the beginning, you can still assist yourself with your legs or use a resistance band. If you're a complete beginner and not significantly overweight, you can get your first pull-up within 1 or 2 months. Train at least twice a week and do your next session once the soreness is gone. That's a good sign you have recovered. I have seen this kind of push-up form many times in outdoor gyms. In this position, the chest, shoulders and triceps are still working, but the core isn't properly engaged and the range of motion could be greater. If you straighten your body and keep it tight throughout the movement, your execution becomes more stable, force transfer improves, and your core will be actively working as well. Core stability shouldn't be neglected. In the long run, a weak core doesn't help with controlling intra-abdominal pressure, which can contribute to certain issues such as hernia. The plank is a simple exercise that can help you build this core stability. If you can maintain a solid plank for 45 to 60 seconds, that's already a strong enough base for push-ups. And if the pushing movement itself is the limiting factor, build strength with knee push-ups or slow negatives. Which is harder, the straddle front lever or the half lay? It depends. The key idea is that the more your center of mass shifts toward your feet, the greater the torque becomes and the harder the front lever gets. The half lay has several variations. If you bend your legs more at the knees, the movement becomes easier. The more you extend them, the harder it gets. In the straddle variation, the difficulty increases as you bring your legs closer together. So a narrow straddle front lever can actually be harder than a half lay with more bent legs. However, if the half lay is performed with almost fully extended legs, it can become harder than a wide straddle. If your shadow is longer than you, your body isn't producing vitamin D. This is because UVB rays have to travel a long path through the atmosphere, and by the time they reach your body, they no longer have the desired effect. And some estimates suggest that up to 70% of the world's population may be affected by vitamin D deficiency. If your goal is to master street workout strength skills, build muscle, increase strength, or lose fat, then your health and proper hormonal balance play a key role in these processes. So the takeaway is that most people should consider using some form of vitamin D supplement, and you might want to as well. And if you liked the video and would like to support me, the easiest way is to subscribe and maybe follow me on my other platforms as well. And if you're interested in online coaching, you can find it on my website. I've also released a free ebook that teaches you how to think systematically about training and helps you achieve your fitness goals. Plus it includes a bonus muscle up and handstand training program. You will find everything in the description below.